Video on YouTube. It's kind of one of those days, I spent some time working on my grief book, and there's a lot of good information in there. I just need to add more scriptures in there. I took out some stuff, and I really tried to take out stuff that was kind of redundant, I guess. Probably the biggest thing that I will say along those lines, it's a process. You're going to experience stuff that's painful in life, no matter what age or what stage in life you're in. But I will say this, the hardest thing that you will ever experience is losing somebody that you loved and not being able to process that and just, surprise, this happens today, Whereas my grandma, you have time to process that. You have time to just kind of get yourself in that position, that mindset. Versus just, whoa, whoa, just like a bullet to the heart. But that I've had both. I can say I've had both. I've been there when the machine shut off, and I've been there when you find your loved one passed out dead. And I would say this, that the best of the two is probably, without question, would be the one where you can process that, when you can think about that, and you can kind of put yourself in that perspective and that mindset, and not just, oh, by the way, and you just happen to be talking to that person 2 hours ago, and here you are, man. And I can emphasize with other people that have been in that similar situation, but I know that God will get you through it. I know that He's gotten me through this as well. And I know that regardless of the situation, He will see me through to the other side. And I think that's something that we forget. That's something we oftentimes put in the back of our minds. And we expect, and I think that's really where it's at. And I think this book, I believe, and I know this book is gonna unlock keys. It's gonna unlock doors to those that have been in that place of just like, God, I don't know what you have for me, where you want to take me, but you know what? And like I said, like anything else in life, I'm gonna obey, and I'm gonna do, because that's really where it's at. And I'm not so much concerned about, I gotta make $5, $10. That doesn't matter. I mean, I'm gonna put a price tag on it, and I know I'm gonna have a lot of people buying it. What I'll probably do is do it digital for now, and then I can get some feedback from people. And this is what I would add in there, and then just get some honest feedback, And then when I get ready to do a physical copy, that physical copy will then have all the kinks worked out. You've had enough feedback. People say, "Oh, this is what I would say." Boom, boom, boom. This is how I would have said that differently. And then there we go. And then at that point, probably do a fundraiser or something like that. Just figure out how much it's going to cost for one thing, and then just have people want to contribute towards that cost of that book. And then we'll go from there, and I think that's probably the best way to do it, the best way to approach it, because then you have other people that are actually doing something, that are actually contributing, that have a part to play in that process, and shaping how that, and offering input and shaping how that should go. And obviously I give all the glory to God and all that, and that's what's up. I think a lot of times we go through these situations in life and we forget, hey, God, what do you want me to do? And see, to me, this is a different deal than when I last met. Matt was somebody that I spent some time with. One-on-one, mentoring. I mean, I can't. I don't even have words to describe him. I just say, look at Christ, and there's Matt. That's all I got to say. Because he was everything. Now, I'm not saying he was perfect. He wasn't, by the way. But there was something bigger and better that fueled his life, and that's really where it's at. So, I think it's good to put everything in perspective, and I know that it's coming to that point, but I know that God will see me through, see us through to the other side, and He's longing for us to just latch on with Him, to get with Him. And just because this person or that person passes in our life doesn't mean we just stop living life. You still gotta do what you gotta do. You still go through life. You still keep doing whatever routine it is that you have. You might take a break, but you know what? And that's fine. It's fine to grieve. It's fine to mourn, but you don't stay there. I think you can put that in proper place and position. That's really where it's at. I think a lot of people, they forget all of that and they just close the shades and walk away from whatever life they've got. And that's a very dangerous place to be, in my opinion. More than anything, you should be around people that love you, celebrate you, and also to be around people that truly believe and want the best for you. And there's people out there that do want that for you, and that's good. You should want that. Desire that, So that's the situation at the moment. So and that's probably the hardest thing, is to go through life, or to go through one thing after another, and then obviously in the middle of the pandemic makes it 10 times harder as well, because it's I don't know, it's really rough. I think a lot of times we'll go through things and we'll try to put things in proper perspective. And that's really where it's at. If you don't put it in proper perspective of, hey, this is where things are at. So, much love and much peace. I think that's really where it's at. That's all we can ask. That's all I can ask for. And know that God meets you where you're at, and morning will come, and God will be something that longs to be that father that sticks closer than a brother, kind of thing, and that's something that you have to be mindful of, and I think keep in perspective, It's and I will say it's never easy, no matter who it is or the relationship that you have with that person, because you spent some time with them. I mean, they're the last grandparent that you have, you know, and that's deeply special. All the more special in that sense, you know. And I will say, you know, things took a turn obviously back in December. After surgery and things like that. So much going on here. It's like I could process everything, but you know what? I'm going to leave that. And know that in Him, you have everything you need. So, I think that's all I have to say right now. You know, I think that's the bulk of it, you know. Yeah. I can't say it enough. It's a process. You process it differently. For some people, it's like, man, do they ever experience a tough loss? No. It's because they don't allow people to get close to their heart. They don't allow people, they don't have deep family relationships with other people, or they're not in very many deep relationships with other people. Very shallow in a sense, but I just kind of leave it at that, you know. And I think that it's in these times that you have to come together and learn to love and appreciate everybody that's in your life, that's been in your life at one point or another. And know that, yes, you will get through it. Yes, you will overcome whatever is going on, whatever has happened. And I know that, you know, I think for me, I'm in a different position than I was maybe when my dad passed. Because now it's like and having wrote the book, and I don't, you know, it's not, to me, it's not an instruction manual. It is not it's not like a feel good, you know. I mean, it never is. No, it's that way, you know. It's never that way. It's more like, you know what? You did it. You wrote it. You're editing it. And it's a matter of getting it out to people. And I really want it to be a dialogue of sorts where, you know, we come together, you know, and I get feedback from y'all, you know, about that. And say more about this, say more about that. And then down the road, like I said before, probably do a fundraiser, GoFundMe or whatever, find out how much, figure out how much it's going to run. And that's where the real blessing comes in to play, is when you can have people that want to sow into that because they see the value in that. And I probably release it digitally, possibly, and then just once you've got all the kinks worked out, now you do the physical copy. Now you can put pictures in there. Now you can say a little bit more on the scripture. Say a little bit more. Expand on that a little bit more. You know, and go from there. That's really where it's at. If you can get to that point, that's beautiful, glorious. And I would like to be able to take from different contexts. You know, like Carl. I referenced Carl Lentz's book, The Last Arrow. I've heard him talk about some of it, and it's all about the dash between this point and the end. And that's a deep thing in and of itself, the dash. What you do with that dash is up to you. You get to decide what you do with that dash, which is your life, which is everything that encompasses your life, whether it's your business, your church life, all that. So, peace out.